Welcome again to our session. Glad to have you back with me. Glad to be among you. As usual, we'll dive right into the questions. We can take turns by raising the hand and opening our mic directly. I'll basically give you the option to ask your question directly once you raise your hand, so that we keep it organized. If you want to receive a recap of this meeting, meaning any questions that I wasn't able to answer or a question that I needed to elaborate on, you can leave your email in the chat. I will be creating a follow-up email with the feedback of the questions and the information missing. Good for everybody? Perfect. So I guess we can start by turning our hand. You can start asking your questions. Nobody has a question? Okay. Are we all aware of the Black Friday promotion? And do we have any questions about it in the terms of the offer concerning the 2-year plan? Are we all comfortable with it?
Do you know how many packages are left or how many are sold in the meantime?
Unfortunately, no, I don't have the exact count up to date, but that shouldn't stop us from promoting it so that we make sure that at least we secure the spots that are left, if any. Perfect. The goal is to expect for only have a few left and work with that intensity. Any specific questions on the tool, how to, things that you have difficulties with across the board? There has been a lot of questions that have come on my decks about the leader avatar and also email rollout. I'm not sure if everybody's good with it. Everybody's has a clear understanding of how to use the email rollout tool, or uh, anybody has a specific question on that?
I don't know what that is. What's the email rollout? You guys
Oh, it's
kind of
email marketing basically when you are using the email tool to roll out email in sequence, or if you're doing it manually in accordance to specific dates, or using the automation across the funnel. I think it's an important thing to understand and master, since it's a big part of our activity in terms of follow up and retentions. So everybody's comfortable with all the aspects of the tools. Surely there are some questions here. I'll let Brian. How are we making use of the business profile? Do we have any questions with that? Because this is actually an essential part of the tool. Go ahead, Lamanta. What is your question? Or you can open your microphone and ask the question directly or interact directly.
Okay, I just want to understand when and where when to send out an email marketing. Like I am fairly new and I'm having I'm getting some contacts. So when do I send out an email?
Well, the email is basically a tool that you use to share information. So at any point of your approach, you can choose to send an email. If it's a cold contact, meaning that
Mhm.
you have pulled the lead out of your out of our system, for example, well, you can send an introductory email to create that connection based on the interest that you are targeting. If it's somebody that has willingly offered information through your funnel, then of course you should have already an email rollout in place. Um, so far, for example, what is the strategy behind your email? This is a very important question as well, because whether we're using the email to create a contact or to make sure that this person follows through a set of command to buy our product, or following the purchase, they have purchased our product, and now we need to inform them on how to make use of the product, or lateral sales, upsells, right? So at every point, the email is used to create that connection or create that interaction or keep the interest, the relationship going. Make sense?
So you can send a single email?
Absolutely. You can send a
Oh.
single email. You can send a
Uh-huh.
series of emails, right?
Uh-huh.
Depending on who you're speaking to, right? For example, I'll demonstrate. I'm going to share my account. Okay. If you
Mhm.
are comfortable with email, even at
Mhm.
the level of the conversation here, you can choose to send an email. One second here. Let me go back. sorry. I'll take an example where I'm pulling a prospect from the account. This is a cold
Mm-hmm.
prospect, right? I have the
Okay.
choice of interacting with them if they have an email this one doesn't have. I will go
Right.
reset it. So if they have an email, I can choose to interact in the first with them to break
Okay.
the ice, right?
Yeah.
But you also have to keep in mind that since in this day and age, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are receiving emails, it is also a good thing to try to reach out to them directly on social media if you can.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, I have tried to do that. I've sent the email and then I reached out to them, but they never respond or anything. So I'm not, you know.
Well, that could be the cause of many things, right? For example, if you're trying to reach out to somebody, they could be busy. It is normal, right? So it could take some time to get response. This is why you're doing this in volume
Mhm.
so that once the wave comes back your way, you have these answers, right? It could be also that the targeting is not appropriate, right?
Okay.
Basically, depending on what you're offering, if the conversation is not well aligned, people won't see an interest into it. I would need, for example, I would recommend booking a meeting so that we can take a look at how you have identified your conversation,
Okay.
uh, who you're targeting. And if you're using the unlimited pooling prospects, we'll look at the interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, if I'm not a family person, and you're sending me family oriented conversation, you won't get a response from me.
Right.
Make sense? If I'm not a career, if I am an entrepreneur type a prospect and you're sending me employment career type offering, you will not get a response from me, right? Of course, this
Correct.
is a very large example, but even in the fine details, there are things that will make the engagement more proactive than than it should, right?
I get it.
Make
Okay.
sense? Perfect. So
Sure.
definitely, you know how to book a meeting. I hope book one so that way we can
Uh,
take a
I'm
look
not
at.
sure.
Oh, send us a request to support at now.site or through your account. Simply, you can come to the chat here and request a booking
Oh,
link through
okay.
chat,
Okay.
and we'll get to discuss
Request
more in
an
depth.
appointment. Okay, I can do that there. Sure.
Perfect. And also leave your email in the chat. I'll leave add a video in the follow-up email so that you can look at that conversation about prospecting and targeting. Okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
Pleasure. Gene, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good day.
Good
We
day.
established yesterday that for the Train My Avatar, you can upload up to 4 documents. And then you said we can also email support and have links for more stuff we needed.
Mhm.
If we remove a document and replace it with something else, will the avatar forget all the information on that original document, or will it retain it and then add what's new?
Well, that okay. Keep in mind that there is a hand between your information and the avatar. So if you have given us information that we have already uploaded, that is part of the knowledge base. Removing that, you can you elaborate on that? Because first of all, what type of information would you be adding and removing based on the fact that there's a lot of general information that comes already with the avatar? How
Well,
specific are we getting?
let's say there's a marketing asset that's not from corporate, it's from the team, and I upload this marketing asset for one of our products.
Mhm.
Now I want to upload and make room for marketing asset for a different product and upload it. Is it going to forget the first one, or is it going to retain it and then add on the second one?
No, it's going to be added on to the
Okay,
knowledge
good.
base. I don't think that it's going to be removed. It's going to be just part of it. We're updating. If from the old information to the new, there are some updated information, the AI, of course, will take account of that. If it's a totally different product, it will now know that product as well.
Okay.
Make sense?
And perfect. And then
Hello, I'm in a meeting right
if
now.
Sorry, who is it? Can we mute your microphone?
Lamata, you have to mute.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then
Mhm.
the second question in regards to this then is, if we did have information we needed removed, would we just email support saying, hey, for my avatar, it knows this information, but I need to cancel this information. This product is no longer available or something like that.
Most likely that would be the step to go. But yeah, that would, if the information is already part of the database and the product is being removed, then this is definitely something that we would want to notify support so they can remove that from the database.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Anybody else on the use of the tool? Questions around the avatar, the unlimited? Perfect. Okay. So how are you guys? I assume that we all have, most of us have the. Do you have another question, Jane? Or you let
Yes,
your
I
hand?
just
Oh, right.
updated, I had to check something first. I just updated the app this morning, and now when I'm trying to comment use a comment, create a comment on someone's post, I keep getting an AI running slow. We apologize for the inconvenience, but our AI is running slow. Please try generating the message again. And this has been going on for 30 minutes, for more than 30 minutes now. And I've also noticed that the last few updates, it seems like the AI is getting slower and slower in generating information. Is there a possible bug going on that I should report this, or?
Well, it's a good thing that you just mentioned it, so consider it reported. I'm going to reach out and see. Now, I wouldn't want to assume on what is happening, but my guess is if we're going through some updates, that might create a slowdown process. And you said that's been happening today for the past 30
Yes.
minutes?
Well, the past few releases, it seems like it's been getting slower and slower. And that today I'm getting this message that I'll actually put in the chat here for you to screen grab if you want.
Perfect.
It's got the information that I was doing. So hold on a second. Got to transfer my phone to my computer. And I was trying to answer something for someone who's not feeling good about losing a potential friend. And that's what I keep getting. So
Perfect. I'm going to keep that, download that. I'll forward it to support. And again, I'll cover the response in the email that I'll be sending. And anyways, I have your information. I'll follow through with what details I get directly from them. But this definitely is something. Has anybody else been experiencing that, or it's just limited to Gene?
well, I also want to say it's 2.6.6 is the
6.6?
release, and 322 in parentheses. Just let you know that. But I haven't heard from anybody else saying it's running slow on the app. I don't know in the first place.
Yeah. So just to touch base, anybody in the room here, nobody has experienced that firsthand, or it's something that tried myself here. Okay, definitely duly noted. So that we'll continue. I'll follow up on that when I get more information, so that I don't speak on areas that I am not fully trained on.
That happened to me yesterday as well.
As well. Okay.
Yeah, it did. But after a few attempts, it did work normal. But I did get that same warning a couple of times.
And what about the slowing down of the application? Has anybody experienced that as well?
Well, I'm getting it online right now. I can't get the page to fully load. I'm just commenting. I was going to try to do it from my computer instead. Let me refresh. By that time it loaded. Okay.
It's good. Do you have again, the usual question, do you have a lot of tabs open? Because there's something also that you want to keep in mind. Don't want to have too many application opens on the window on which you're running application, or depending on the strength of your system as well.
Always on my computer, yes, but the app, no.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Bridget, yeah, you have a question?
Yeah. Yes, I apologize. My English is not very good.
It is
but
perfect.
I hope you understand. Okay, thank you. I have my video avatar in one of my teams, and I know I can build as many teams as I like. Now, if I build a new team, how can I make sure that my video avatar is in the new team as well? What do I have to do?
By default, it's going to be done because although you can create many teams, it is set that you only have one avatar, the same one. So when you upload the knowledge base to the second team, when they come around building that AI, they basically will upload the standard video that you have there.
Awesome. Great.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Francesca, you have a question? Oh, No question? Perfect.
I have a question.
Oh, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes. I have my prescription with with sales flow, and I
Okay.
really want. I just want to reduce it to the basic because I really not using it that much. I want to reduce it to the basic.
Okay. The basic would be the My AI. Definitely the right tool to start anew so that you can create a momentum for what you need.
When I'm,
What I would
when I'm talking
recommend.
about sales flow with prospect and all of that, because that's the one we really started up with way back.
Mhm.
Sales
You
flow.
have the sales flow, right? But you want to reduce it to the basic, the smaller package.
Yeah, because I'm paying $49.50, and I want to reduce it to the one. I think when you reduce it to the small package, you have under 100. They give you under 100 basic that you can
Ooh,
use.
okay, okay. Let's, you know what? Even more important in that case, since it's a very case particular question, since it's your account and depending on what you have, I wouldn't want to open your account here since we are in a group session. So definitely, do you remember the process of booking a meeting?
Uh Most of the time, I always go online and ask the people in the book it for me. That's what I always do.
That's perfect. Go online, have them book a meeting so that way you and I can discuss about the plan, what you have, and take you into the right direction so that you can benefit from the use of the tool. Okay?
Yeah, because I've been having it too. I know because once upon a time the sales flow was very popular with non-site, but now they're not really using it that much. We're going to
Well,
AI, and
well,
it's just sitting
that's basically why I want to talk to you about it because the sales flow, as you are putting forward, was a process to engage the conversation with the prospect. The
there.
prospecting tool allows you to pull these prospects, but to get proper results from it, you have to understand how to use it, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
that is,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I
No,
was
no.
saying that I'm not going to say that altogether take the whole. It's just that I had the unlimited one. The
Mhm.
unlimited will give you more prospect, but now
Yes.
I just want 100 prospect every month.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Before
You
was
want
just
to
having the
reduce. Okay, so
yes,
basically you're talking actually about a networking light
yes,
version of the offer, which is definitely a particular case. So definitely, yes, book the meeting. So that way we'll have a conversation around that, okay? And also show you how to properly use this reduced amount of prospect that you will get, if so. Okay?
yeah. Then another one is what's the new one that they said that I know right now we could bring people in and pay under $20. The
Oh,
one share.
it's the NAV system.
So how does that work?
Well, it's basically update of what you understand to be the sales flow. It helps you navigate the sales process by giving you basically prompts and advice to follow as you engage step by step with the prospect that you're exchanging with. Remember, the sales flow, for example, was hinting on 5 steps for the conversation, building a rapport, is making the connection first, building the rapport, getting to know the person, inviting them to a meeting, making a presentation, booking a sale. Well, that flow, which was known as the sales flow introduced in tandem with the prospect, is now also being built into a specific application to help you and coach you step by step. So that's the nav, basically.
What's the name of that? Because I have other people I've been trying to explain to them since the
It's
price
called
is
it's called the nav system,
now.
now
Because
site nav system. Hmm.
now said what? Now said
Now site nav system.
now said now system. And number
Nav.
two, because I'm trying because what they explained to us the last time they said that it's almost like sales flow, but it's not part of sales flow. So
Exactly.
okay, if I bring these people in and they're paying $20, what do they expect to get?
Well, the process that we described, right? This ability to track each conversation and process with each client, right, is something that will require a lot of processing space. So for now, the opportunity that you have is to start at that cost, but have no limitation in regards to how many people you will be able to track across the board after the set date of the promotion, which you have to follow with support to confirm. But after that set date, that cost will change. It will
Yeah,
be,
that's why they said it, because that's why I'm trying to bring people. I want to be able to explain to them more what they're going to get, when they get
well,
into that.
when we first leave your email into the conversation, because that will be part of the content that I will roll out. I'll attach a video introduction to Nav, so you'll be able to take a look at it. And definitely when you book your meeting, we will talk about it more, so that way you understand it, so you can better propose it, offer it. And this is important for all of us, right? In order to better offer or place our services, we really have to understand the mechanic of what they do and how they apply to the interested person or the party that we're trying to offer it to. Good? Gene, you
Okay.
have a hard one for me again?
Okay.
You want to burn
Well,
me?
well, first, I just posted the link from Facebook of the last demo we did on Nav from last Thursday.
Oh,
So they
perfect.
can watch that, get a better understanding of it. Secondly, it may not be a bug after all, what we are talking about earlier,
Mm,
because I open up a different browser and only tab open and the page loads, but when I hit generate, it's not giving me anything, including the error message. But then I went and wrote something else and it gave me information or gave me a response. So it might be the subject matter of either the post or my comment back that I want to generate, and maybe the app is giving just an incorrect message, and the computer version isn't giving anything. So, so it might not be a bug. It might just not want to discuss that sensitive topic that she's kind of mentioning, because it is kind of right on the edge of her personality, and so it might just be, hey, I don't want to talk about this. It's just not giving the proper message. So,
okay, well, anyways, it doesn't hurt to put forward a conversation to the tech guy to see. And since we had also somebody that noticed it, let's see. But definitely, on a general note for everybody, when you're running the application, keep in mind that we're using something that taps into a lot of system in real time and that a lot of users are using at the same time. So try to have a clean browser, less tabs open. In the end, only have the tabs or application that you would need, if so, so that you have a more smooth experience. I tend to keep my computer clean when I'm running Nowsite, in a sense that only what I'm using is open, and refresh your browsing history as well. Sometimes through navigation, we'll lash onto cookies and such, and that could also interfere with what we're doing. Make sense? So
exactly.
that would help. What?
But I was just saying is that it may pop up a different message on the app and also on the computer version, desktop version, pop up some message saying, hey, this is a sensitive topic and blah, blah, blah. So instead of just not drawing anything. So
Okay.
one last thing is on the app,
Mm-hmm.
lots of apps on my iPhone now, when you go to run it, will say, hey, there's an update and do you want to do it? I've noticed that when there's an update available, but I haven't checked to see if it's available and it hasn't automatically loaded, I get an error message 3 times. Then I go look for an update. Sure enough, there's one there. It may be if you can ask development if sometime down the road, if they can put in that option of, hey, don't run the app unless if there's an update available, warn instead, and ask if they
Okay.
want
Yeah.
to update, something like that. So,
Okay. Duly noted. Fair enough. Yes, I'm not too familiar with the Apple environment and the iPhones, but this is definitely something. If you have experienced it, it's definitely something that should be done. Like notification, there are some updates available to download when there are some updates.
cool. Thank you.
Perfect. Lamenta, you have a question?
Well, when sometimes I get a follow up, so like it would inform me that someone I should contact this person that they had. They didn't explain what they say. It just say contact the person and leave the person name. So how do I follow up with that person? What do I really say
Well,
to them?
Well, it depends on how the prospect was acquired, right? Because, for example, if you're getting
Mhm.
this notification because somebody actually went to one of your uh, a website and put information there, was that the case?
I sent out, I sent out messages to those people, like on the, where you get the prospects.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I would send out, maybe on Facebook or whatever, LinkedIn or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And then I saw a message that says contact this person. So I'm just curious what exactly, I'm not sure what to say. I sent out
Well,
information.
let's put things in perspective, and this is actually a good exercise for everybody. Um,
Mhm,
Coming back to what we just discussed with Lamenta and the idea of the sales flow or the process of a conversation, right? If you sent out a message to this
mhm,
person after pulling them from the platform, the intent that you had was to connect with them. I found
correct.
your information on social media, right?
Mhm,
And I'm very interested in what you are doing, or we have common interest, right?
mhm.
Now, my question becomes in that first message, reading it back, what was the call to action? What did you say to that person at the end of this message? Was it let's connect for more? Was it click on this link to see more? What did we ask them? If we asked them anything, because it could have been a hello, I see you, I want you to see me, and then I will come back for the next interaction with more purpose. So, what was the energy of this message? Was it just a
Okay.
hello, or was it
Mhm.
an interested one?
Okay.
Y-
I'll
You can.
explain to you.
Mhm.
Okay, so we get these prospects, right?
Yep. Hmm.
And AI, you put a message in, and they recreate the message and send it to them.
Hmm.
So that is it, because I am like,
Can
I
you
have
can
a
you go
home
back to
base.
that message, and if you can read it and see, because the whole conversation that we're having, Samantha, to be
Mhm.
fair, is the follow up to that message. So if you're
Yes,
gonna respond to a follow up to that message with something else, we're gonna need to start from what we ended the conversation with. It's a matter of conversation, right?
that's right. But
Right.
how would I remember to go back to what the AI sent to them? Like, I know.
Well, when you contacted them, did was this on LinkedIn, on social media? Was it via email? What was the step that we took to create that first conversation?
Okay, it was by email, but
But
what I'm saying is,
mhm,
okay, like I contact the person, I'm say doing a home-based business. That's what my interest is.
mhm.
Yeah, so that's what I sent the message, in that regard. Like, I'm targeting home-based business, persons who want to sign up or enroll for a home, looking for a home-based business, something to do from home.
Okay, perfect. So if I understood correctly, at this point you have introduced your person and what you do.
Right. And I
Okay,
sometimes I say I notice your interest, because I
perfect.
thought that's what they respond to.
Perfect. And then what you would need to do in the follow-up message is continuing showing that interest. Because, for example, if the person has responded to you, oh,
Right.
Lamanta, thank you very much for connecting with me. I see that we have common interest, and this is what I do. Because this is the natural part of the conversation. Sometimes in this marketing activity, we overthink the steps that we're thinking or that we're taking. This is a natural thing that would happen. If you were face to face with this person, you would have said at this point, hello, my name is Lamanta. This is what I do. And then you
Right.
would ask them in return, what is it that you do? And that is
That's.
important. That is important. That's the discovery, right?
Mhm.
Because the reason technically why you came out and said, here am I in all of what I do and am interested in, is because you knew that the interest technically by targeting was the same.
Mhm.
If I sent you all here a message today saying, hey, my name is Virgil, I'm very interested in marketing and using marketing tool, and I would like to know what you are doing, you would be prompted to consider answering with what you do. So,
Exactly. But
so that's the next step. And Understand? Doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away.
I understand.
So you're going to
So,
keep offering more
oh,
information, more connection. But remember, you're doing this in a row, right? You did this with this client. It was the right thing to do, and you are going to be repeating it for 100 clients throughout the week. Eventually, you will see that wave come back to you. And this is what we're looking for. But the mechanic is the same, right?
all
I want
right.
to introduce myself. I'm connecting based on the interest with
Okay.
you. And now I want you to share with me what you are doing, because this
Okay.
allows me to
Okay.
in turn say, hey, I have this great opportunity that can help you in
Okay.
this exercise,
Okay.
right? So
I
remember
like
that it's a conversation and it's an exchange,
that.
right?
Okay.
We should never be stuck at what we are gonna do or gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
as long as we remember the
Mm-hmm.
goal was to get them to discover something that can assist them because of that interest, right?
Okay.
So
All
our
right.
conversation will go into that direction. And if you're not sure, always go back to that process, and it's right there still in the write a message. The
Mm-hmm.
goal of these message is it to connect. Technically, the first message is always to connect. The next
The
one is
connect.
building a rapport. The way you
Right.
build a
Right.
rapport is by asking them to
Mm-hmm.
share with you their success stories.
Okay.
That's always the thing. I'm great at this. What are you great at?
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
It does make perfect sense. Thank you.
Perfect. What you can do, for example, if I've emailed you and you haven't responded to me, what I recommend, since hopefully this person is also present on social media, go
Mm-hmm.
there and like a few of their posts that relate to the interest.
The
Even
interest. Yeah.
share their post.
Okay. Yeah.
Because now, go ahead.
I screenshot one of their posts and send it to them and say I like this post, and just trying to start a conversation.
That's the right thing to do. You
Mm-hmm.
start a conversation by attempting to get that connection. And it could be, it's not often enough. You have to understand one thing. And this comes down to the basic rules of salesmanship. Some will, some won't. You keep
Yeah,
on, right? That's
yeah,
important
I
because
know that's for
you
sure.
try to make a connection and you keep
Mhm.
on going. Then this is at the core of what we call networking. We're trying to make these connections across the board, and we're going around circle talking to different interests and waiting for that wave to come back.
Mhm.
Because at one point, this person that have not responded, maybe because they were busy, maybe because they were chasing other opportunity, will come back around and say, let's see who has actually paid genuine interest to me. The person who messaged me a couple of times, the person who reposted my content. Let me see who is this. Oh, turns out I should have been talking to them. And that when it clicks, we can spend a lot of time between the connection and building the rapport, which is normal, right? Some friends we make very quickly, others we have to cultivate that interest.
Yeah,
But
that,
once that rapport is built, then it becomes how well we navigate the conversation to get them to take advantage of their interest. Remember, we're never forcing somebody to buy. They buy in because,
oh
well,
no,
this is what I've been looking for. We
no,
just
you
have
can
to shed light on that.
exactly. Because it's not like we're selling. We're introducing
Most,
introducing to our
yeah,
products. We're introducing them to
exactly.
our products. We're not selling anybody
Exactly.
anything.
Most interests sell themselves. For
That's right.
example, you go into the supermarket, you're interested in peanut butter, you're not going to be
Mhm.
buying mayo. You're going to go straight to the
Exactly.
peanut butter. And you're not,
Exactly.
and it's when you're there that you might look at the brand, but
Hmm.
let's go. All right. So that's the idea, making the choice natural without forcing it, making the connection natural without forcing it. And the sure way of doing it is you always target the interest and make it part of the conversation.
Hmm. Okay, I appreciate that. I'm glad
I
I
hope
came
this
on.
helped everybody as well. Any other questions? We're almost at the end of our
My
time. So
first time on this call, so I'm liking what I'm hearing. I should try and connect more.
absolutely. Book also the meetings. You will enjoy them more. That way we'll focus
Yes.
on case study. You can roll them out,
Hmm.
come back with the results, and that way we
Hmm.
can trade information from the lab to the
Right.
field and back.
Yeah, because I'm really looking for. I know I have success in this business because there is, a success rate. So there's no doubt about it. But
The only thing that is required to be successful in this business is one, to be active in it and to love talking to people.
right, right,
That's
yeah,
it. Because once these are together, then you're actively talking to people about their interest.
right, right.
And people go where they're interested or where interest is giving to them. And this is
Mm-hmm.
important. Make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah,
Fundamentals in
it
our
does.
marketing. Often enough, we forget that, but this is a people to people
Mm-hmm.
environment. And it used to be that we had to go knock the doors on doors to
Yeah.
get that connection. Now we just have to go from profiles to profiles and
Mm-hmm.
like to get that connection and message to get that connection and make that offer to make that
Mm-hmm.
connection.
I like it better this way too.
Of course, it's cold outside now,
Sitting,
depending on where you are. So door to door would be cruel.
stay in my house and do this. So yeah.
Exactly. And this is why anybody can do it. This is the whole
Mm-hmm.
dynamics of this new environment, this new opportunity. If you have the will, if you like talking to people, that's all. And
Mm-hmm.
these are user friendly tools. We're not reinventing the machine. We're not even learning. Well, some of us have more technical insight in it, but for all of us, this tool is easy to use. It just requires you to bring your knowledge of your product and your understanding of your clientele.
Yeah, and understanding how to use the tool. That's one of
That
the
once you get, it's like a bike. Once you get on it
Mhm.
and you start rolling it, you can never forget it. And it's not complicated. It's look at what we discussed today. It wasn't about what button to push to get these message out. It's about the rest, how to build upon that connection. Good for everybody, I hope.
Yeah, thank you. I got some insight here.
Perfect. If anybody also had some insight of that conversation, give me a one in the chat so I can see if I made an impact. And definitely, please, if you want to follow up, leave your emails in the chat. Our rollout conversation, maybe elaboration on that, and that might be things that are used to everybody. Gene, you have a question? Go ahead.
Actually, I have a response. I posted it in the chat there if you want to read it, but I put the post and what I wanted into the Nowsite AI, asking why the my AI wouldn't would have issues, and that was the response I got. So it may be too sensitive of a nature of a subject for the AI to actually do.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
so that
So
might be
wait.
the messaging that needs to come back instead of giving the it's taking it's slow or not giving a message at all. Might need to pop up a message saying this is sensitive materials and
You know,
such like that. But then Nowside AI actually gave me an answer to use when I asked it. So
okay. So he gave you a correction, a balanced out version. Okay. So it's
no,
really the
the
prompt.
my AI didn't work. The Nowsite
Right.
AI is what helped me to give a
Oh,
good response back. So, but yeah, but it, like I said, it might be just something because it's just too sensitive
okay.
information that it doesn't know how to answer it in the first place. So,
Okay. So it's really the prompt then that should be changed, not to create confusion.
160, 160,
Okay. Super. Then I'll note it and I'll follow up with my line of the access that I have. I'll put that forward, and if I have a response or follow up, definitely we'll see it if the post changes as well.
thank you.
Perfect. Okay, then that was it for today. I hope this was useful for everybody, and definitely we'll see each other again next week.
Thank you.
You can prepare some hard ones for me if you have questions, technical difficulties. And I think at one point, if that is an interest to everybody, since we had a lot of discussion or touch base upon email and results, we might want to look at the analytics as well at one point, because this is also going to help us in everything that is to come in terms of setting out a proper strategy. What happens to these emails? What are the engagement, the reaction? How do I improve the targeting and such? And the
Oh,
whole dynamics around it using the conversation.
all right.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
I like your program so far, so I'll stay committed to it.
Absolutely.
My answers.
And I'll match your commitment all the way. I'll
All
match
right.
all your commitments.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
So
you.
goodbye and thank you
Bye
again for
bye.
your time.
Thanks.